everyone, it's Jessica, flight attendant flipper. For those who are new to my channel, I am a full-time flight attendant and part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and a couple other sites. And for those who are not new to my channel, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very thankful that you enjoyed the content, so thank you so much. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. So first and foremost, as you can see, I finally got my roots done. Hey, I feel human. I got a haircut. I got my roots done. I felt like a new human being. Thank you so much, Nathan. He is the best ever. I've just been outside in the heat all day, so please forgive my appearance, but I wanted to get a quick video in. A lot of airlines are hiring, and there are some videos out there about the interview process, and I am thinking about doing one like that, but there are not a lot of videos about training. So I figured that I would give you the top 5 things that got me through training, and I texted them to myself because I wouldn't remember them in any particular order, but just to give you an idea, this is what helped me personally. So everyone is different, but this is the top 5 things that helped me get through my training. So training for my company was 6.5 weeks in a hotel room in a different state, sharing the room with another student, another trainee. So it's very challenging, and we'll go into that. So the number one thing that helped me was packing light. I actually packed light and could have packed even lighter. I found out that we would be getting our company issued suitcases, luggage when we get there. So I didn't want to bring my rollerboards with me and then have like 4 rollerboards coming back. It was going to be too much. So I brought duffel bags. That way I could either throw them out or easily fold them up and put them in the suitcase that they gave us. So that's what I did. I also only packed like 1 or 2 workout outfits, the uniform or the dress code for training, which for us was black slacks and a button-down white shirt with a collar, and heels and flats per regulation. I did pack a couple of outfits for outside, but I really only used like the casual ones because I really only went out to, I went out thrifting once, I went out to do my nails one other time, and went out to do my laundry twice. Yeah. Anyway, so I just recommend packing light because you really don't want to schlep all that stuff back, and you're really not going to have a lot of time for hanging out. Some people do hang out on the days off and go out and party, and that works for them. I was there for a reason. I was there to get my wings and to keep it moving, get my wings, start working, and then when I get back home, then I can hang out with my friends, what have you. So I was focused. That's just me. So pack light, that's number 1. Number 2, know your learning style, right? So I know my learning style, and I think the way that my company set it up was really good, actually. So they would assign you homework. You would read the homework and familiarize yourself with the material, and then they would cover it the next day. I felt that worked because it gave you some base of understanding so that you didn't go into it completely blind. You already had some modicum of understanding before you get to training the next day. Then what I also did was, you know, a lot of people are note takers and they take a lot of notes and they highlight and they have multiple color highlighters. What I did was I listened. I only jotted down key notes, but I listened because I absorb more by listening and watching the slides. Now, much of what they're telling us is actually in our flight attendant manual. So for me, there was no point for me to jot down verbatim what they were saying because it can easily be found in the flight attendant manual. And I wanted to make sure that I was retaining the information. So for me, I don't work well with flashcards. I don't do well with highlighters. I like to listen to what the professor is saying, the instructor, and watch the slideshows, and a lot of their stories will kind of cement the lesson that they're teaching you that day. So that's how I learn. So it's really helpful, I think, to know your learning style so that you can plan accordingly. Food prep. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's 2 of you in a hotel room with a very small refrigerator. We did not have a microwave in the room. There was a microwave on the floor, so it's down the hall. I mean, we're not talking about really healthy eating here, let's be honest, right? So you don't have like your usual kitchen and all the accoutrement. I mean, I like to cook. So it was definitely difficult to eat so much processed food, to not be able to cook, to not have a really warm meal. I mean, it was tough. So what I would suggest to you is not to bring too much food with you when you initially arrive. Maybe bring some things like some condiments, like that, like I can't live without this. Like let's say you like hot sauce. I'm not gonna live without my hot sauce. Let me bring the hot sauce with me, right? But what I would do from there is I would then order online and have my groceries delivered to the hotel room. And I would do it like once every couple of days. That way I didn't have too much because the refrigerator was very small, and having to try to find ways to eat without using too many perishables because the refrigerator was literally a dorm fridge was very challenging. So make sure you figure out how you want to eat prior to going so that it's not such a shock to the system. All right, 2 more. So self-care. Okay, this is critical. This is critical. Not only physically, but mentally, because you are away from your loved ones for 6.5 weeks. You are away from the comforts of your home. You are away from your bed, your shower, your hot water, your water pressure. I am very particular about my shower. Let me explain how I will not live somewhere if the shower is not hot and the water pressure is not good. I just won't. I won't. Everyone has their thing. I have mine. So luckily my roommate and I were on the same page with the temperature, because then that could be another issue, right? Like let's say I like it 68 degrees and my roommate wanted it 74. We'd have to probably meet in the middle somewhere, but both of us are going to be uncomfortable, right? But you need to make sure that you take care of yourself, because if not, the training process can get to you. It is arduous. It is very difficult. It is usually 6 days out of 7, 10 to 12-hour days, a lot of material. You're basically learning the ins and outs of multiple planes, and the pressure is high because if you don't pass certain exams or you have to retake something more than however many times, twice maybe, depending on your airline, you will be released from training. And for the most part, this training is unpaid. So this is an extended job interview. So there's the stress of that. There's the stress of not being with your family. There's the stress of not being able to eat what you want to eat. There's the stress of having to, cohabitate with someone who you just met and in like the tiniest space, share the same bathroom, figure out the schedule. It is a lot. It is a lot. So what I did before I even left to training is I went on to Groupon and I found like a spa that I could go to, and I planned it I had already booked it. I planned it for week 4 because I figured by week 4 I'd be right about ready to explode, and I was right. And so I went week 4, and it was just what I needed to kind of give me the refresh to continue on for the next 2.5 weeks. Now I did some other self-care, like, maybe take a 5 or 10 minute walk outside, breathe some fresh air, just listen to silence, or go to the gym. I didn't go too much to the gym. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you now. But I was on the treadmill walking, listening to music, or talking to my husband, talking to my daughter. So making sure that I wasn't totally disconnected from the life that I had prior to training. So you must make sure that you take care of yourself, or else it's going to make the process even harder. And I have to say, my company was so amazing. They made me feel valued in training. They wanted to make sure that we were all okay. They really listened. So that helped a big deal. Now, don't get it twisted now. It was a lot of pressure, a lot of stuff that you had to learn, and the stakes were high. And out of 50,000 some odd people that applied, less than 6%, actually 10% made it to the face-to-face, less than 6% make it through training. So, I mean, the odds are stacked against you, but if you make it that far, you can do it. What's that saying? I didn't make it this far just to make it this far? I mean, hello. Okay. And the last, and this kind of touched on what I said earlier, but you need a support system. You have to have a support system, because if you do this by yourself, even with the self-care, you're going to lose your mind. You need to have your family and your loved ones understand the sacrifice that you're making. They need to be an ear for you when you're freaking out. I think around week 4, I just lost it and just started bawling and called my husband. And I'm usually not like one that just like loses it or cries. So, I mean, it is a lot. I cannot emphasize enough that this is a lot, but it is so worth it. But you need to have a support system. So I didn't tell, I think I told maybe 3 or 4 people what I was doing, where I was going. I didn't put anything on Facebook. Leave it. In my opinion, it was so much better for me, because I didn't have to field questions from people daily. How are you doing? What's it going? Because what would have happened if I wouldn't have made it through training? Like, I would have had egg on my face, right? Like, oh, damn. You know, I let my friends down. I let my family down. So I only let a very select few people know where I was going. And I kept in touch with them. And they were my sounding board, or just an ear to hear me vent and complain about whatever it was that was stressing me out that day. But your support system is critical. And not only is it critical for training, but it's definitely critical for being a flight attendant. You are gone for 6 days at a time. You need to have a support system that understands that, particularly if you have a family or a child. I have a child, a husband, so the support system. So know your learning style, pack light, figure out your food prep, self-care, and support system. I really hope that this video helped a little bit. If you have any questions about the training process, please comment below. I only know the one for my airline, but some things are interchangeable, so I will do my best to help you as best as I can. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and you'll get all sorts of notifications when I have new videos coming out. Thank you so much. Fly safe and happy thrifting. Bye.